Welcome to Zone In Sports, your favorite spot for real talk, bold takes, and everything in the zone when it comes to sports. From hard-hitting analysis of the Miami Hurricanes football to the hottest stories across the sports world, we're bringing you that energy, passion, and a little bit of swagger, just like the U. So whether you're tailgating in the Coral Gables or arguing in the group chats or just vibing in your way to work, buckle up. You're in the zone with your host, D. Hamp.
All righty out there. Welcome to this Saturday morning. OE out there doing what every dad should be doing, helping his son out, but he's going to rock out with us today. Before we get started, I wanted to send a special shout out to two of my coaches, one in college, one in high school. I apologize for not getting there and making it to the Missouri High School Wrestling Hall of Fame, but they both were in Missouri Hall of Fame of Wrestling. They both were inducted. I currently have three coaches that's in now in the Missouri Wrestling Hall of Fame. Coach Rocky Streb, which was my freshman coach, he went in Saturday. Coach Terrell, which was my college coach at Forest Park, he went in, and of course, Coach Lipinski, who was my varsity coach. So I just wanted to give a congratulations to those guys. You guys taught me a lot. I know Eric knows Lipinski. I don't think he knows Rocky Strib because I think he left before he got there and went to Oakville. But I did want to give those guys a shout out, and for everything they've done for me, congratulations on your accomplishment. All right, E, what's going on out there, man? If you can hear me.
Fucking hernia, dog.
All right,
I'm good.
All right, we're going to hop right into it. You were at the Louisville game. Tell us about the atmosphere at the game.
The atmosphere was wonderful, man. The atmosphere was good. It was a good crowd. The tailgating was nice. A lot of people there, no rain. People were upbeat. I parked in the orange section about 5:45, and it was a 7 o'clock kickoff. So I got there good and early. Oh shit, I went the wrong way. Bought my parking pass, and I messed up, man. My good friend I graduated with, she lived in Miami Gardens. I said, damn, she thought she was gonna be out of town. I could have parked at her house, and they'd have gave me a ride to the damn stadium. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But anyway, I could have saved myself $80.
Right.
With that parking pass. But the atmosphere was great, man. The crowd was real upbeat. It was live, man. I was expecting a W.
Right.
You know? And to no avail. I knew something was wrong with I'm gonna tell you what, I'll tell everybody listening. I knew something was wrong with the body language, bro.
Well, tell us expand on that.
The body language wasn't right with the team, man. It didn't lay right. The body language was not right. I'm almost done. I'm gonna slip these pads in. The body language just gave it away, man. I just knew I had a feeling. I'm like, man. And I sat on the visitor side because I had some good seats on the 50. I had some really good seats. I copped them for a little over 100. But no, right at like with the fees, it was like 89. And I was sitting amongst about a 50-50 crowd, Louisville fans and Miami fans.
Okay.
But everybody was cool, nice. The Louisville guy even gave me a blue ribbon because underneath they had a setup with better food. You still had to pay, but if you had a ribbon, you got access. Right. You didn't have to show a ticket. I had no ribbon, but the dude was from Louisville. He was real cool. He gave me one. So everybody was cool, man. But like I said, the team, you could tell the body language with both teams was different.
Okay.
And I knew something was up, man. And then when they scored first, when they got down there and they ran that fake field goal just to get the first down, the way they marched down the field, I said, what the hell? I said, something don't label. I said some don't lay right, you know. Some don't, just like they said in Shaft, some don't lay right.
But
And
I know you didn't rewatch the game. I did. So
I didn't watch the game. Like I said, I'm gonna say this, man. For as poorly as Miami played, they still only lost by 3 and could have won that game. As poorly as they played, okay.
right.
The defense, people knocking Carson back. That's all these new fans that ain't been around. I'm telling you right now, you and I both know that. That's all these new fans that ain't been around. Because, like I said before, I remember when Ken Dorsey threw 4 interceptions at Boston College. He threw 4 picks, and we didn't have social media then. There wasn't nobody around to dog him out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And what saved him was the running game. Portis had 165 yards rushing. The defense clamped down on Boston College.
Right.
Our defense clamped down in the second and third quarter. You got to give Coach Braun with Louisville credit.
Yeah.
He schemed Miami's defense. He did Miami a favor because now Dawson and them can prepare, or I should say Heatherman can prepare for this in the future if somebody else tried this. They did a lot of cut blocking and chop blocking. When you do that, when you knock the D-line down, they can't get their hands up to bat the ball with quick passes. Boy was dropping in the pocket, 3 seconds, throwing them slants. They're low passes, quick. If my D linemen are getting chop blocked and cut blocked, they can't put their arms up to knock down a pass like that. That's number 1. Number 2, especially on 3rd and long, our cornerbacks were 10 yards off the receiver. So if I'm giving them a 10-yard cushion and I'm doing a 2 to 3 second pass, that's easy money. The linemen are down. I got open lanes. I'm dropping back 1-2. I'm firing the ball. The cornerback is 10 yards off. He can't, by the time he react, dude already got the ball in a full stride.
Right.
Heatherman made a mistake by not playing more up close, a bump coverage, tight man. That would have eliminated that quick pass. That would have, because those were timing routes, Dwayne. 2 to 3 seconds, that ball was out.
Right.
And if I'm
what you got to do
pushing,
against a good pass rush, you got to get rid of it quickly against a good pass rush.
Right.
So.
And that's what they did. They were able to neutralize Bain and them. That's why Mesidor got hurt, because they was cut blocking and chop blocking low. Yeah. They took the D-line out of the picture. If I'm knocking you down, you can't put your hand up. You can't bat the ball down. You can't block his view from seeing. And if Louisville got one of the best wide receivers in the country, big tall dude the beast. He a bad motherfucker. He gonna be in the NFL. He playing on Sundays. He running across the middle. You 10 yards off, trailing him. The quarterback got a quick pass to him. Nobody there to knock it down. That's easy money all day. They made adjustments later in the game to slow that down. Yeah, as far as Beck go, I ain't mad at Beck in a bad game. The first pick really could have been a PI. Malachi Tony got tackled before the ball got there, even though he did throw it in triple coverage, and there were 2 other dudes open way underneath. That's on Beck. The second pick he threw in the double coverage, same thing. The tight end and another receiver was open underneath. They were so worried about Malachi with a spray. They were so worried about Malachi, the guys underneath were open for first downs. Right. The third pick was totally on him because he threw off his back foot, didn't put enough on it. The last pick was luck. The last pick was, they say, oh boy, ran the wrong route, which he did. That was on him. And that fourth pick really, that sealed the deal. That sealed the deal because I knew shit was fucked up from the start. Okay. Right. I knew in my mind, I said, if shit don't go right by the end of the third quarter, I'm leaving now. Because I remember last year with the Virginia game. Listen, I left last year at the end of the game, and we were stuck in Hard Rock for an hour trying to get out.
It's rough getting up out of there.
At the end of the third quarter, I got up. I told everybody I can go to the bathroom, and I beelined to my car.
Hey.
No problem. no problem getting out of there because I had to drive all the way down to Kendall to my partner's house.
Hey, the funny
So-
part, E, is that I'm gonna go back to what you said. I took a beating last week for saying this. I started the live off last week by saying from the ending of the game, and I said, "Who was that last pick on?" And I thought Lofton ran the wrong route. Regardless of what happens, it happens, But the point that I'm making is so many things that go into the play. If Carson expecting somebody to be there and he coming off 1, 2, 3, letting it go, guy runs the wrong route. It was a hell of an interception by the D-back, to even intercept that. Yeah, you got to give that credit up to him doing that. And they said, well, no, he should have hit the check down. There was a guy open on the other side of the field and all that stuff. And I'm thinking, like,
that wasn't
you're doing too much.
That wasn't the play that was called. So everybody saying he should have, would have, could have. That was the play that was called to go to Lofton. He ran the wrong way because they was sitting on Malachi and they were sitting on Jay Daniels, dog. He had to go somewhere else. So I blame that, and Dawson took responsibility for that. What people need to understand is if you listen to the Joe Rose show Monday morning, you got to give a lot of props to give a lot of props to Coach because he didn't make any excuses. He sounded like a leader. This blame pie is enough for everybody to go around, including him. Okay, so everybody's still crying and boo-hooing. Who out here really thought they was gonna go undefeated?
That was my point.
Only person I saw for the record that said Miami was gonna run the table was Nevin Shapiro. Everybody else had them 11-1, 10-2.
Right.
Now at this point, they can't afford to lose any more games in the ACC. They can't afford to lose any more games. Period. If they want to make the playoff, I don't even care about the ACC championship game because you might win out and still not get in that. But at 11-1. If you dominate these next games, they can't deny you.
Right.
All you can hope for now at this point is that maybe SMU get ranked after the day. Maybe. All you can hope is that, I think SMU plays Louisville. I think Pitt plays Louisville. So if they can catch an L, then Miami back for a spot in the ACC title game.
Right.
But if you just win out, hold on. If you just win out, you cool. But like I said, as far as that game go, people need to let it go, man. They Mario addressed it with Joe Rose. Shannon Dawson addressed it. Go ahead, drop it. Heatherman addressed it. They seen the mistakes they made. It's good they saw this now.
Right.
Because you can fix it. Especially before the playoff, if you get in the playoff run, you think other teams ain't gonna look at this? You think if they draw Texas Tech or Villanova or Missouri or somebody like that, or Oklahoma in the first round, even if they get a bye, somebody gonna look at what Louisville did and try to run that same game plan.
Man, it's been all kinds of narratives going on about the scheme that they run in, and they tired of seeing them run between the tackles and stuff. And I'm like, y'all got to understand that you're going to run your identity. Whatever your identity is, that's going to be what you do. Now, you might run variations of plays or whatever, but I understand some of the fans' frustrations. Of course I do. I'm a fan. I understand some of the frustrations, but you can't put it all wrapped up in a loss. And matter of fact, I'm going to put it on screen here because I thought this was interesting that somebody sent me. I'm just going to read it because I know you're working. And let me take this off here. And I just thought it was just kind of crazy how people. So it says, "Come on, D." Now it says, "Stop with the BS." Now, of course, we don't BS nobody. So it says, "Just tell the damn truth." And then this is where he lost me. He said, "Brom is a real coach," and I'm thinking like that knows how to scheme and make changes, and Mario doesn't. So when you start off your whole conversation like that, you kind of lose me because. It was Brom a real coach when they lost Virginia? I'm like, coaches lose. That's not knocking Brom. Coaches lose, things happen in the game. And then he goes on to say that You know, that last interception, Lofton, CJ was wide open running this and that. And I'm thinking like, again, I mean, you could put the interception on Carson. Carson should have thrown it away or whatever. However you want to do it. He's going to take the flack for it regardless. And he took the flack. But when I saw it, I said he ran the wrong route. And that's not even knowing. It's just the way when he let the ball go, it seemed like he was expecting one thing, another thing happened.
That's what happened, man.
Yeah.
That's what happened. I don't know why everybody was tripping, man. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah. And then it says 29, OJ shouldn't have been out there.
Lofton went the wrong way.
Yeah. He said OJ shouldn't have been out there.
Wow. Oh, he had a good game. OJ made some, he made some really, hey man, OJ Frederick made some really good plays. All right, come here.
Yeah.
He made some really good plays in the second half to break up some passes. See, that's people that don't know what they're talking about. Get in the car and slowly pump the brakes.
And that's what I'm saying.
That's
so
stupid, man. He made some really good plays.
Yeah, when I started getting these, that's what frustrates me because it's not that I could deal with the criticism and stuff and when we commentate on games and we give our opinions, but when you say you're a fan and you turn down your own coach to boost up another coach when he's got a loss on his record. So if he's this great coach, how come Braum not undefeated? You know, I mean, that's the point that I'm making, you know, to those guys, you know, it's just one loss. That's all it is. So
that's all it is, man.
Yeah.
Before it's all said and done, ain't nobody run table, dog. Leave it running. Ain't nobody gonna look. Ain't nobody running the table. The only team that might have a chance to run the table is Ohio State. Now they still got to beat Penn State at home, and they still got to beat Michigan.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Bama got a loss. Georgia got a loss. Ole Miss got a loss. A&M got everybody got an L. Ole Miss, everybody got a loss. Virginia got a loss. The only team that hasn't taken the L is Georgia Tech. They might run the table.
And might because they've been in close games too.
Well, they're playing Georgia at the end of the year, so they probably gonna get their nose cracked by Georgia, and then it's not an ACC loss. But my point is, ain't nobody running the table.
Right.
So, I mean, it goes to show how hard it is to run the table unless you got such a cupcake schedule. It's difficult to run the table, and just like it was 25 years ago. Only one or two teams could run the table.
Yeah.
So to say the ACC is weak is a bunch of BS. Where my gloves go?
Do you put any validity into people bashing Shannon Dawson? Because some of the reports that all the pushback has been that his offense is too basic. He only runs zone plays between the tackles. He won't open it up and run the ball wide, etc. You know, what is your opinion on the criticism Shannon Dawson getting mainly from the fans? You know, because
they wasn't saying that when they was winning.
That's
they wasn't saying that when they was winning.
Right.
See, all it takes is for a little adversity, and here come the boo birds crying. That's what I'm saying. That's the 20% of our fan base that's soft. They wasn't around. They wasn't around during the hard times. They wasn't around with the tough losses. They wasn't around when they got their ass beat by Syracuse, but then knocked off number 2 UCLA. It's a process. They took a loss. Louisville got a good team.
Yeah.
They only lost by 3.
With 4 turnovers.
Not playing.
Yeah.
They lost by 3 as bad as they played.
That's my whole point.
As they played, they lost by 3. Okay, as poorly as they played, they lost by 3 points. This tells you how good this team really is. They got 4 picks. They got 0 points off turnovers, people. 0.
Yep.
They got the running game could have been better. I don't think Lyle got to get into a rhythm.
Yeah.
Then you'll see. Then they can run plays to the outside with him because he's your speed tailback. He's your cutback. He's not a power back. I get it. Dawson need to tweak a few things. The O-line been fucking up. Too many pre-snap penalties. Look at all the pre-snap. It wasn't just Louisville. It was against Florida State.
They've been having
Hey, even Bethune-Cookman, they had penalties.
So this got to get cleaned up. That's got to get cleaned up. Bring it over here.
All right, we got our first comment. It says, for me, I think it's more Mario than Shannon, to be honest, because Mario is the one obsessed with running between the tackles and not wanting to run outside off tackle. But I'm thinking like Mario not calling the plays.
I disagree with that. Mario want to run the ball, yes. I don't think he's obsessed with running because when he played, they didn't run all the time off tackle, between the tackles.
Right.
People need to stop trying to assess blame. They see where they made their mistakes. Okay, you got to give Louisville credit. They stacked the. I was there. They stacked the box with 7, 8 guys pretending to blitz, and then when they knew Miami had to throw the ball, as soon as the ball was hiked, they dropped out of that blitz and went into coverage.
Yeah, and they was running out to those flats.
You got to give. So did Shannon Dawson make mistakes? Yes. Heatherman made mistakes. Yes.
Right.
Cristobal gonna take the overall responsibility because he's the head coach. He's supposed to.
Right.
Beck gonna take responsibility for his picks because he's the quarterback. He the one who threw them. He the one got greedy with interception 1 and 2 and threw off his back foot with 3.
Right.
So it's
and
not
he
about
was getting pressure too.
Cristobal. It's not about blaming Cristobal saying, well, he's obsessed with running. That's Shannon Dawson too.
Yeah.
He's the play caller. He ain't telling Dawson. He's not telling Dawson how to call game.
Right.
All Cristobal is like your boss at your job. He's the overseer. He's the manager. He's got assistant managers that do all the work for him. Okay, so right. Yes, Cristobal got the overall responsibility, but don't make it seem like he in his ear saying, "Keep running it like that. Keep running it like that." No,
that's my point.
Give Louisville credit.
Yeah.
And be glad it happened now. Be glad it happened now, so you can fix it now. So because you already know Stanford gonna try that shit. SMU gonna try some of the same stuff.
Right.
NC State gonna try some of it. Pitt gonna try some of it, and so is Virginia Tech. They all gonna try to do what Louisville did. Now it's up to Heatherman to make his adjustments, and it's up to Dawson to change up and make some of his adjustments and just add a few more plays. They need they need somebody else at receiver, either JoJo or other fellas. Yeah. They need to get they need to get Lyle into a rhythm. He has to get into a rhythm.
And we'd have had this conversation, I think, last week about JoJo. It was a long, I don't know if you see it, but a lot of guys were upset. What's up, Brandon? A lot of guys was upset that JoJo, I think, was only on the field maybe one play. I don't know. I didn't count. But it's a lot of guys upset with him not getting playing time. I like to say, I don't know what's going on with that situation. But I'm with you, whether it's CJ Daniels and Malachi can't carry the load. We need that third receiver or that tight end to step up.
That played in that receiver that had a good game against South Florida.
For Miami? You say for Miami?
His name Josh.
Oh, Josh Moore. You say Josh,
receiver that played against, that had the 2 touchdowns on South Florida. He a 6'2" big dude that can stretch the field.
Yeah. It says the Louisville loss was the whole team. They had a bye week to prepare, which is true, and came up short. There's no explanation, but it's over now. Let's see what's up tonight against Stanford.
They didn't make any excuses for it, man. They played poorly against Florida State in the fourth quarter. They know what they did wrong.
Yeah. And if we're gonna be honest, it's like the whole second half of every game they haven't done what they should be doing. Now it was the flip side. They actually played better in the second half if you take away the turnovers because they started picking it up more. They had a little sense of urgency. So the crazy part is this game tonight is going to show me a lot. You're a heavily favored team. You're coming off a tough loss that you made a bunch of mistakes, and you're going to have to come out and show you the superior team all night long, not just 2 quarters and coast. You got to keep your foot on the throttle, and you got to do what you got to do. I mean, that's the way I look at it, What's your 2 questions there, Anthony? I'm sorry, I didn't see them. But yeah, so that's the way I look at it. They have to come out and just show their dominance. If you're going to be ranked at the top 10, you have to come out and play like a top 10 team. So other than that, it, like I say, I'd have put the loss behind me last week. I set up and I talked to the guys about it, and pretty much me and you kind of align on the same thing of thinking, because of the simple fact we understand it was a lot of blame to go on. We understand that there's a lot more intricate parts to the game than what, okay, you should have took the check down. And then some of those plays, they say guys was open to the check down. It's shit. It was a guy 3-5 yards maybe from him, you know, where, okay, if you threw it to him, probably would have been a 2-yard gain, 3-yard gain, or unless he break a tackle. So I understand people saying you should. But then if he'd have took the check down, somebody would have been like, oh, it's a guy running free down the slot. You know, I guarantee you, when you look at guys that's open, even some of the passes that they complete to Malachi, it'd be other guys open too. You know, so, you know, that's not even making excuses. I'm just saying, when we armchair quarterback, we can see a lot of things that you can't see in real time on the field. And that's not making excuses, it's just facts, you know. And that's why you go back and watch film. And that's why you go back and you start understanding tendencies on how teams trying to play you. And like I say, you learn this stuff early now. You got one loss. You do what you got to do. You still got the talent. So you just got to go out and do it. And plus, understanding that you're a highly ranked team and team's going to give you their best shot. That's another factor. You know, when you get an all media pub and you get in this pub all week long, and they're not giving you a shot to win the game, that does something to teams too. So it gets them up for a game.
That's right. Y'all forgive me. I'm jamming with y'all and doing this.
That's all right. It says, with the play calling being a concern with the running game, I think it's more on Mario. Mario has an obsession with running between the tackles. I think Shannon wants to do off tackle. I don't know.
Who said? I mean, I don't know why y'all people saying he has.
I think we lost you, E.
Working for you. You're not giving Louisville any credit for what they did. Give them some credit for what they did.
Right.
Come on, people. It ain't about him being obsessed. See, some people just looking to blame and blame and blame. It's enough blame for everybody to go around.
Yeah.
It's enough. I mean, I think some people that don't like Mario or look for any little thing with Mario are just looking for anything to blame Mario. If any little mistake, they own Mario.
Yeah. Out of here, Mario is the reason why JoJo ain't playing. You know, he don't want him to play it. Mario bad coach because
hey, listen, it's all kind of reports about JoJo. I don't think it's true, but I read he was smoking weed with another dude that got kicked off the team.
I read that too, and I was like,
I don't think that's true, because that would have got out, but it's all kind of BS going on.
Right.
He played. I think he got in for one play against Louisville.
Right.
Maybe he's not fully. I don't know what's going on. We can speculate all day. Maybe he ain't playing right. Maybe he ain't practicing good. Maybe he's still hurt. Maybe he ain't totally over what his injury was, because Mario tight-lipped about the injury shit. He don't say nothing. So
that's not just him. That's what everybody on the team he tight-lipped with. So it ain't just specifically tailored to JoJo. He tight-lipped with injury. So, you know, try to tell people that, you know, but.
Listen, it's other receivers. So, yes, that's on Dawson. That Joshua Moore, the dude from BYU, the dude from Cincinnati. Let's get them in the game. Let's get them involved more. Absolutely. That'll take, because teams are gonna double up on Malachi. They're gonna follow him. But you know, just like my man the truth teller said on Tuesday, you got somebody like Josh that can go deep. He gonna take a cornerback and a safety with him. That's gonna free up either Daniels or Malachi or one of the tight ends if they both in the game. So gonna follow. If Josh Moore go deep or Daniels go deep, two people. If it's one-on-one, then to get that, if you see that, okay. But if you want to free up Malachi, you need to send somebody deep.
You need to
Yeah.
send somebody deep. They got this 2 and wide receiver screens and shit. You can't run that because you can run that 3-4 times and teams on that shit. Okay, so you can't run that all the time. That's for Dawson to fix. It ain't
Right.
Our responsibility. Shannon Dawson is the offensive coordinator. He has to correct that.
Right.
And they recognize that Malachi is going to draw all the attention, and they go if he go deep. They go look what they did. Louisville triple teamed them going deep.
Yeah.
So Beck got to be Beck trying to force it. He need to stop doing that.
Right.
Somebody else is there, and you think they ain't working now? You think seen the film and you think back and may say, you know what, we really effed up. We had so many people open underneath for first downs because we was too busy trying to get Malachi deep. They seen that, man. Like I said, I'm not upset. Listen, man. I flew down there. I went to this game. I flew down there. You think I wasn't upset that night? I'd have come all the way down there. I half-ass blame myself for jinxing the team for going. I'm like, man, they probably saved my ass at home. They probably
Hey, the funny part,
but I'm like, okay.
I came live the next day, and it took me a while just to get my thoughts together. And I was just like, boy, I sure don't feel like doing this. But hey, look, I said I'm gonna come face the music, which is fine. But like I try to tell people, I could take constructive criticism. I said I've been a big backer of Carson Beck, but I was the first to tell people he played bad. I mean, it is what it is. He played bad. I mean, you cannot spin it, And the harken back on what you said, it's true. He was trying to force the ball. Guys was open. That's what you get in the film room about and said, hey, all right, hey, look, Beck, when Malachi went deep, you had this guy open, this guy open. Next game, if they doing that, you got to change it. You got to take the check downs. You got to take the guys across the middle. You can't force that deep. So, yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on. It says I also think the reason why fans put so much blame on Mario is more about the money we're paying him. So I'm grateful he's getting paid $8 million a year. He should be taking all the blame. I know.
Right.
Yeah,
that's
I guess.
right.
You paying him, you're gonna take all the blame, but still that don't mean that it's warranted. See that, and I get conflicted with this because now we pocket watching. So because somebody making money, even if it ain't his fault, he should take blame. The head coach ultimately gonna take the blame, and we know that.
I ain't pocket money and Beck getting this money. See, that's social media for you, dog. If it wasn't for social media, you wouldn't have all this crap. Because like I said, I know it ain't the same team, but I ain't forgot when Dorsey threw 4 interceptions at Boston College. We was upset too. We was mad. We was like, man, they're gonna blow the season if they lose to these bums. The difference was, but the difference was the defense was stout, and Clinton Portis had 165 yards rushing. The O-line didn't have a problem pushing around. They didn't make the same mistakes. Look, Syracuse giving Georgia Tech a game. It's only 3-3.
Right. Hey, ain't nobody. That
Hey,
down
look.
just a little bit on that TV.
Oh, hold up.
All right, but yeah, like I
So
said,
I mean,
it's
it's
the
enough to go
patience
around for
thing.
everybody, man.
Yeah. Now this one here from Brandon. What's up, Double B? It said patience doesn't exist anymore, and on social
Nope.
media allows people to just type anything. So that's why there's so much fallout when their team loses a game. Totally agree. It's crazy because you just see these people, like you say, they come in, and I ain't gonna even say they passionate, because if you're passionate, you at least know about your team. You got a greater understanding of when a team wins or loses. So that's what gets me. It's like, man, they just don't have any patience at all.
No, they
You know,
don't, man. People don't have any that's these new fans. Again, I keep telling, that's the new fan base. That's the ones that's only been around. They might have seen '01 and they ain't been around. They've only, they hold on,
or
they ain't been
they
around.
the
They ain't been
ESPN
around that
fans
long.
where they hop on the bandwagon when they start seeing they do a good, start getting all the pub on TV, and then all of a sudden they sitting up here, you know, now they want to start commenting or they want to call people trash or this or that. And they ain't really watched them the whole season. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. You know, they just get caught up in the social media aspect of it. But you have to watch and understand that, hey, it's another team on the other side of the ball that's trying to win games. And you
You think
have to give
Louisville?
credit where credit's due.
You think Louisville flew all the way down to Miami to catch an L?
Right, right.
Y'all tripping.
Hey,
You think them
Stanford
boys?
gonna be ready to play too. Even
They
though
gonna
I
be ready.
watched the
Yeah.
Stanford Florida State game, and even though they won that game, they didn't look good against Florida State. They didn't look good at all. So
No,
um,
that just tell you. That just tells you how shit our little brother is up north.
yeah, yeah, it's true.
Instead of crying about Miami, why don't y'all get on the Florida State page and start dogging their ass? How about that? Do that.
Oh man, it says there was a time when fans
Instead of
spent during the
crying
winter
about what Miami
seasons.
did and didn't do, y'all got that much energy? Go on their page and start talking shit to them.
He
Because
said
they
there was
talking stuff to us and they took an L.
right, right. It
Where
said
my volume go?
I can hear you there. It said there was a time when fans celebrated winning seasons. Nowadays, fans act like only national championship
I
is
can't even
winning.
hear you, bro. Hold on a second.
Okay, let me know when you can.
Let me make sure my Bluetooth ain't cut on.
You on? Give him a second there. You having a little problems there. You there? I know I can hear you.
I still can't hear you.
All right,
Zay
hold
Zay,
on.
go down.
All right, we're gonna give him a chance to get his stuff together. I'm gonna read a couple of these comments here while we on here.
I know I'm
Okay.
doing too much, but it's got to get done.
It says there was a time. Okay, we already read that one. This one here says
Hold on, Dwayne.
it says I think the reason why my generation of Canes fans have no patience is because we've experienced the microwave dynasties of Bama, Georgia, and Ohio State. Yeah, I can see that.
Let me get this laptop going, cuz.
All right, there.
Get off this telephone.
All right, and I can see that analysis there. All right, there. You got me back in there.
I'll be right with you. I'm getting on the laptop now.
Okay, and give us 1 second there. Let him get on there and get off this over there. But yeah, it is true about the Alabama, Georgia, and Ohio
I'm
State because
finna verify it now.
okay, and you know that's why you get in an argument with people that think that only championships or only not even making the playoffs or having a winning season. People get so upset about it. It's crazy. You on there? E? And it's crazy to me that people even just think that you could have a 8-2 season or 10-2 season and people say it's a failure. because of whatever. Whereas teams out there that would die to have a 10-2 season. Now, should we expect more? Because again, the money that they're spending. Yeah, because we're fans. We all want to see if you're spending all this money and everything.
All right, I'm gonna sign off on this phone. I'm gonna get off this
Okay.
phone.
All right. I got you over there.
There it is. Okay, now we back on. What's good
Yeah.
morning, Mr. Manzano?
Right. He says, did you read that? He said, I think the reason his generation of fans have no patience is because we've experienced the microwave dynasties of Alabama, Georgia, and Ohio State.
Well, yeah. People today, they seen video of what happened 25 years ago and 24 years ago, and they want it now. And they don't realize that, if they stop and think about it, you didn't have a school and administration that didn't put forth anything for the last 20 years. I'm not knocking Randy Shannon. I'm not knocking Al Golden. They had obstacles in the way. The Manny Diaz hire, I didn't think was the best hire. He's not a bad coach.
Right.
But he's a Florida State guy, even though I think he really did want to turn Miami around, but he didn't have the same philosophy as Cristobal. Like when Mario got there, he said the line was soft, the line was small, they wasn't big. So it's a combination of things. Miami's had great talent the last 20 years.
Right.
From the 2000 to the 20 teens, they've had receivers, they've had tight ends.
And they don't celebrate that, E. That's my thing. It's like, this is my thing with the analogy of the Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State. There's a lot of great football teams in the country that we don't look at because we only narrowly focus on a championship. I see he didn't throw Michigan in there, which ones that won a championship, or, other teams, or Clemson in there that won It's a lot of great teams, and you don't have to win championships I ain't going to say to be a great team, but to have good football teams and a reason to watch them, And that's where I think a lot of people, the money that kind of skewed it. That's just, let me say that, where people just ain't watching it for the love of the university of the team anymore.
It's about the money. And this is a side note, man, because I'm over last week. I'm peeking at the SMU Wake Forest game. You need SMU to win this game.
Yeah.
You don't need SMU losing this game and going home looking at, okay, we got to beat Miami now.
Right.
We need SMU to win this game today. It's only 3-0 Wake, but still, Miami can't afford to lose any more games, no matter who they playing, no matter what the circumstances are. And I think that's a mindset. But again, I'm going back. If I go back to last week, the biggest takeaway I got out of that game was this is a very good football team to have only lost by 3 points with all the mistakes they made on offense. I don't blame the defense. The defense did their job. The defense kept them to, other than a couple schematics that were ran. You got to give the head coach for Louisville credit for, like I said, the cut block and the chop block, and you took them out the game. The 2 to 3 second passes. The mistake Heatherman had was maybe the secondary. The corners were playing too far off the receivers and giving them a cushion where they could catch those quick passes.
Right.
But they clamped down in the second and third, even in the fourth quarter when they had to have it. The defense did what they had to do.
And you got to find bright spots in the game, too. That's what I try to tell people.
After all of that, man, to only lose by 3, the body language, like I said, I was there, man. I was there for pregame warm-ups. I saw it all, man. The body language wasn't right. That's how they jumped out 14-0 right away. And I'm like, with all the you got the pros and cons, with all the cons of the game, to throw 4 interceptions and they get no points off those turnovers, people's
right.
You're not looking at that. They could have blew Miami out the water if they would have scored on turnovers.
That's why I made that little short that you saw. I'm thinking
0 points on turnovers, man.
Yeah.
Okay. 4 turnovers, no points. You only lose by 3 with all the mistakes that you did make. This is a very, very good football team. If they clean up a few things, the pre-snap penalties, the false starts and whatnot, and the adjustments need to be made offensively. Like you said, okay, some was up. A lot of it starts with that line.
The line didn't play
The
his
line
best
is
game.
that's where it all starts. If they're not
Yeah.
on their game and they're not blocking and they're not doing what they're supposed to do,
Right.
everything else gonna fall with that. The
Yeah.
receivers ain't gonna get the rock. Beck gonna have pressure. Not saying that he had the pressure when he made those picks were on him, those first three. But like I said, they made mistakes. Okay, teams
Right.
make mistakes. So some of our fan base need to just relax. Just relax, man. Watch the game today. I'm not so sure about the uniforms, but they honoring the military. Okay. Like I said on one of them Facebook pages, I don't care if they come out naked, just win.
Hey, you just do what you got to
I don't
do.
care if you butt naked with a G-strap, jump on to nothing. Just win the game. Huh? Just win. I don't care. Just win the game. Show some improvement from last week. It's paper plates right there. So that's how I look at it, man.
Yeah, and I was trying to explain. You said almost the same stuff I said last week. And oh boy, I got called some names under the sun. But I'm just like, why? That's why I waited a whole day to come on, because like I try to tell people, when you and I come on, we try not to be in our feelings. We try to come with the straight, with facts about the game and things of that nature. So you have to take a minute to digest the game, to understand what you see, and just to say, instead of coming on blaming everyone and everybody, that it's more intricate parts to the game than just going to say Mario sucks and this guy sucks and that guy sucks. No, you have to understand what they were trying to run, what the defense trying to do against you. Yeah, you know.
I was in my feelings a little bit after the loss, because as soon as I left the stadium, I do what I always do. I went right to the gas station. I got me a pack of squares. I'm going down the turnpike, headed toward Kendall. And I'm listening, and I'm like, oh, man, they finna win this game. They finna win this game. I'm like, what? They finna win this game. I'm like, if they win this game, I'm like, okay. And then the pick happened, and I'm like,
you know what I thought about, E? Because I'm watching the game. I'm actually not even thinking about the game at that time. I'm thinking about what all the fans say. Oh, Mario, Shannon Dawson too conservative, this and that. And then I'm like, now the time he should have ran the ball, in my mind, he should have stayed conservative, ran the ball, kicked the field goal. Your defense been playing good. Put it on your defense to win the game. But I digress over that. You know, it is what it is. But that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, God, dog, your quarterback wasn't playing a good game already. Just run the ball, kick the field goal, put it on your defense. You know what I'm saying?
Now, if you're gonna blame Mario for anything, I couldn't tell, was they trying to play for the tie? Was they trying to play for the win?
I thought personally, when he threw that out to Lofton, it was going to stop the clock. They was going to run up to the line, because I think it was going to be a first down if he would have called it, and they'd take a shot at the end zone, at least one shot at the end zone, and they'd kick the field goal. So that's what I was thinking. Of course, it didn't work out that way. But I would have just ran the ball, got the ball in the center, kicked the field goal, played for overtime. But again, that's the point I'm making about how the fans view it. Now, when he don't go conservative, now everybody said he should have ran the ball. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. It's like you can't please everybody, you know?
No, you can't.
And that's the crazy part. He says, I'm starting to get pissed at the referees. Actually, there were multiple illegal contacts downfield or pass interference calls on Louisville DBs that weren't called.
Yep.
Oh, shit, that's been a couple of games. They were dripped all over us. Yeah, that is true. That is true. We noticed that in a couple of games.
Well, you see, an SEC official got like suspended indefinitely for the season for some play calling and questionable calls and whatnot. So, and my comment on that page was, I think it's an SEC page. It's time to look at the ACC refs too.
Yeah, well, we've been saying that for the last couple of years, that those
look at the ACC refs
that
too.
they refs ain't been, they haven't been that good the last couple of years. You know, and I think a lot of fans could agree with that, from no matter what school you go to, that the ACC refs have been kind of lacking the last couple of years. So that it's crazy all of this
I
stuff.
don't even cry about the refs no more because Miami gonna get calls against them and not for them due to the officiating. That ain't nothing new with us.
Right.
That wasn't nothing new for us. Remember when we was in high school, Dwayne, it wasn't nothing for us either, remember?
Right. I did want to touch on this before this real quick and get your take on this. And let me see if I can find this article here. But it has to do with the Diego Pavia situation here. And it was an article by Alex I think Byington, I think is his name. And the crazy part about this is that you know that he got his 6th year. You know, this was a 6-year plan. And he's threatening to sue a class action lawsuit with some other guys to try to change the JUCO eligibility. Now, the crazy part about that is that, you know, 6 years to me is long enough, but I'm starting to feel like it's this money. Now, he said if it goes through, he's not coming back for a 7th year. He's just trying to attach his name to this lawsuit that's coming on. Give me a second and I'll find it. And 7 years, I'm thinking like, so basically they're trying to say your first 2 years, if you play JUCO for 2 years, then it doesn't count towards your NCAA eligibility. You know, so now technically they want you to play, you could technically play 6 years, 7 years if you get hurt, of course, a red shirt. And I'm thinking a lot of this got to do with money because first of all, if you good enough, you ain't trying to play 6 years of college. So I ain't knocking nobody how they get their money. And you know what I'm saying? But it's like, that's a long time to be.
Look, this is for a guy like, say, me or you, or anybody else that love to play football. That's pretty good, but maybe not NFL good. Okay?
Right.
And if I can get a little money, I don't care if it's just $20,000 for each season on a NIL. If I can get that, and that can help pay some bills and I graduate, and I know I'm not gonna get in the NFL. I'm not even gonna make a practice squad, let alone get drafted. And if I can get 3 or 4 more years to play in college and get paid to play, and they using my name on the jersey, I ain't got no problem with that because I'm gonna graduate and get my degree, and then I gotta go out here and be average Joe Q like everybody else and work for a living. But at least I made, you know, 20 grand or 50 grand a year. I don't have any student debt. I got my degree. Maybe I can work in what I majored in and start my life. You ain't gonna never see me again anyway.
Right. I do want to share this so people can see the article that we have up. So this is the report here. It says Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia aiming to end NCAA JUCO eligibility rules with class action lawsuit. So you guys could go and read the article, get a little bit more in depth on it and everything. But it's an interesting read, and I just don't know about guys paying 7 years because again, I keep coming back to this the money aspect because again, I have no problem with you getting your money. You know what I'm saying? So that's what he basically saying. It's like, look, why are you stopping me from making a living? You know, if I still can play at college, you know, because he probably ain't going to get that kind of money in the league. Because I don't think Pavia a 1st round draft pick. You know what I'm saying? So
it go back to what I just said. Either you're not going to get that kind of money in the league, or you may not get in the league at all. So if I play 2 years of the JUCO, and I'm good enough to get to a Missouri or Miami or Alabama, I'm good enough to make the team. Maybe start, maybe not start, maybe be a second string guy.
Right.
And I'm still making a little NIL money. I'm making something instead of going to school for free and not getting nothing.
Right.
Yeah, let me play 4 years.
Right. Right.
But put some strings on that. You got to graduate.
Yeah. And that's the thing, you know, and I'm wondering.
You got to graduate.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's just like, yeah, you just going to school and just playing football and like you say, you still if you ain't graduated in 7 years, hell, you ain't graduating in 6 years.
No.
You just started playing football. If you ain't graduated, you've been there 6 years. Come on now.
You're gonna be like Ice Cube and higher learning, be like a third, fourth year senior on campus and shit. I'm 26 years old, I'm still a senior.
Yes. So yeah, that's my thing. It's like I'm kind of trying to understand the Pavia situation. Now he said, like I said in that article, that he was not he has no intention on coming back and that he's going to enter the draft, but he just wanted to attach his name to it. But I guarantee you this, let them offer him more money in college than he is in the pros. He's going to be trying to come back for a seventh season.
It's guaranteed money, bro.
Yeah. So for him to say that he had, well, like you say, he has no intentions. You know, that's the kind of buffer, his thing. I have no intention on, you know. But again, now you got 26, 27, you know, how old is now playing college football? You got to
figure, man, if you go to school for 4 years, you should be 22 when you're a senior or just turning 23.
Right.
So even if you stay another year or two, you 25 or just 26 at the most.
Right.
At that point, you should be done.
You should be
25. Or I'm getting ready to turn 26. It's my 4th year of college, but I had 2 years of JUCO.
Right.
They should push some strings on that. Okay, we'll let you do that, but you have to graduate. Or if you do that, you can only be allowed to transfer once. There's got to be some stipulations in there. Okay. Yeah. I ain't got a problem with somebody staying 4 years after 2 years of JUCO.
Right.
But okay, we only gonna allow you to transfer one time. And wherever you transfer to, you have to graduate. You can't just be going to school for 4 years and then be here just to play and walk out of here with nothing. You're going to come out of here with a degree. I don't give a fuck if it's basket weaving, but you're going to have a degree. Okay? You're going to have a degree in something because you done went to school here for 4 years and we done paid you to play ball. We understand you ain't good enough to make the NFL. You might make the CFL or the XFL. Okay.
Right.
But your whole purpose for staying here was to make a little money.
Right.
You want to make some money? Pass these courses.
Yeah.
And get this degree.
Well, you would think so. He said, I think he met Booker before. Let's say this a few years ago.
Booker's about right with that big ass head.
He was going to start having college careers at 8 to 9 or 10 years. Hell, that's what it seems like it's going. But if they're getting paid, but again, it goes back to, I remember who was the quarterback for Bama that they was, it was a Georgia Stinson Bennett, that they was on him for being 25 or whatever when they won the national championship. And then my man last year, they was on him at
tight end for Miami because he was like in his 8th year.
Yeah, So
and he got hurt, so he got redshirted for like 2 years, and then he got another year with the COVID. People forgot that COVID they gave everybody another year eligibility because of COVID, and for the fall of 20. So 5 years ago, every college player got an extra year because of COVID in every sport, not just football. Basketball, swimming, wrestling, volleyball, tennis, cross country, everything.
Right.
So, I mean, people need to stop tripping off this shit, man, especially if you didn't go to school. If you didn't go to school, I suggest you STFU, and you didn't go to school anyway. So why is you worried about it? If somebody can go to school and they still eligible to go, they can go. And if the school going to pay you to play ball, take the money. Because, I'm not NFL or NBA material. So baseball, the only guaranteed thing when they draft you out of high school or you can get on a major league team or make the minors, that ain't going to happen. Maurice Clarett tried that in football, and it didn't happen. Because he was trying to go pro after his freshman year.
Yeah. So it's weird how stuff how evolution happened. Back in those days, they wanted to leave early. Now they want to stay longer.
Right. Isn't that crazy?
Isn't it crazy? Now we know why Maurice, full context, he was trying to leave to go get the money. Now the money's in college, so guys are trying to stay. So it's just going to be interesting to see how that pans out, because now you're just basically going to have mercenaries out there, you're going to have unhappy guys, because I know a guy that's playing right now. and transferred. You guys probably figured out. I know you probably know E, but I ain't gonna put his name out there. He's totally unhappy in the situation that he transferred to, and I mean that's one of the things that just happened. You know, when you start being mercenary, you start chasing that money, you wind up getting in certain situations that you're just not happy with. So at some point, man, I mean, you have to find somewhere, buckle down, and win. If you're chasing money, I get it. I ain't gonna knock you, you know, because I get it. But let me drop this link because somebody wanted to drop this link.
Do something.
Hold on 1 second.
I got a list over there for Menards what I got to get and door hinges. These hinges for the cabinets.
Okay, there we go.
Wait a minute.
That's okay. I dropped this link for somebody here.
Damn, I heard.
I had a couple so we didn't get greased anywhere. I doubled up on the other places. There's only 3 places.
All right, go, you take you some coffee and chill out. I drank my coffee. I don't want to.
All right, there we go. All right. So
It ain't raining like I thought it was going to.
we got to say, it says, do other sports, the other sports is like what you guys talk about hockey, just because they draft young kids. They're like 1,617 years old and still playing high school and junior hockey. Hey, like I say, this money that changed a lot. And, you know, like anything else in life, when money comes in the equation, it's crazy. Give us 1 second, Anthony. We'll bring you up there. E, can you hear him before I bring him up?
I can hear you.
Okay, I haven't brought him up yet. That's why I was just making sure.
I gotta get close to the house.
Okay.
I just came out
Right,
here.
there you go, Anthony.
Yeah, no, and what I'm trying to say is basketball and hockey are the only sports that allowed teams to draft kids that are like not even either in high school or because they draft kids outside of they draft kids out of Europe who are playing professional hockey already. And
Oh,
stuff
yeah,
like
correct. Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, yep, that's true.
Yes. So these kids are like 15, 16 years old, and they get an exceptional status, kind of like they're labeled exceptional, which means they're almost like a prodigy and stuff like that. And basketball was like that originally, where I think LeBron the last guy to be drafted out of high school.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. It might have been. I'm not
Might
sure.
have been.
Yeah. No, and
A lot of them other boys went to Kentucky and they went for 1 year and win the league. You know.
No, and to me, the referee that you guys are talking about for the SEC that just got suspended for indefinitely, he's actually involved in that FBI case. He's gonna get arrested, and stuff like that. So, and to be honest, the reason why fans place so much blame on Mario DNE has nothing to do with Mario himself. It's more the contract that the AD and the college, the administrators at the university gave him, because they feel Mario is a good coach, but he is not worth Sarkisian or Kirby money or something like that, like $8 to $10 million a year.
He's not even in the top 10.
Yeah, no, but in general, he's getting paid $8 million a year. Mario, he is. He's not in the top 10, but what I'm saying, they don't feel he is worth that money based off of what's his track record was at like Oregon, because he would lose big games like this at Oregon too, and even lose big games and stuff like that. So
who feels that he's not? You mean the fans feel that way?
Yeah. There's fans that actually
he won 2 Pac-12 titles in the Rose Bowl while he was in Oregon too.
Yeah, no, they overlook that, but they focus on the few times that he's lost to teams he shouldn't, or but he's gotten blown out by Utah multiple times in the Pac-12 championship and stuff like that, and that's what they focus on.
How many years was he at Oregon?
Almost 10 years.
No, he was at was it? Because he was with Alabama.
He was there for 9 years at Oregon.
Are you
He
sure?
was hired right after they fired Willie Taggart.
And then he re up his contract, but then he left. You know, came to Miami because did he just re up his contract like a year before that?
Yeah. He re-signed. He signed an extension.
I don't think he was with Oregon 9 years because he went to Saban in 13. And he was with Saban, what, 4 years? 4 or 5 years he was with Nick at Alabama, which would put him at 2018 or 2019, either 17 or 18 when he left to go to Oregon. And he started his job at Oregon that 2017 fall camp. Like he got hired at Oregon in January of 2017. So he spent 4 years with Saban. He went to Oregon in 17. He came to Miami 4 years ago, which would have been 21.
Yeah,
so 17 to 23 is 6 years he was at Oregon.
Yeah, but he, of course, he signed that extension with them. He never started the extension when he signed with Miami as the head coach.
Right.
He had signed the D, you're right. He signed an extension the 2019 season, but he never started because Miami poached him from Oregon and stuff like that.
He didn't come to Miami till 2023 was his first year at Miami.
Yeah, no, he didn't sign the extension till the end of 2020.
And Miami had to buy him out to get him down.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, and that's one. And you guys have seen what I've seen, where it's not just the Louisville game in general. It seems like the referees call everything against Miami. There was multiple chokeholds on Ruben Bain that whole game too. Where did you see that the offensive tackle was horse collaring him the whole game?
Pretty much, yeah. I saw a lot of that. A lot of stuff didn't get called. Called.
Even the thing that was going on with the offensive line in the game, I guess not Florida State, the game, Florida game, where they were shifting and doing some type of illegal stuff and making the Miami players jump off. I know Mario was really upset about that.
Yeah, they kept on. It's weird. They called illegal formation on us, but they didn't call it on Florida. Florida was doing. I rewatched that game and I saw I know what you're talking about. They were doing these weird motions where they were kept on moving side to side.
Yeah, it was just weird. Like they were trying to simulate the snap, doing some kind of weird stuff, and he even said something to the refs about it. And matter of fact, they did it in that game and another game. But so it's some
those
weird
were
stuff
SEC
going on.
referees, though. You really think SEC referees are going to call anything on SEC teams? That Florida game was SEC refs.
Yeah. Who refs was for the Notre Dame game? I don't know. What refs was that?
No, that was ACC refs, I think.
Okay.
I think that was considered an ACC game for Notre Dame.
Yeah. So it's just a bunch of stuff that, like I said,
and do you guys really think it's just ACC referees, or have you noticed that in general for every conference that referees have been missing calls the whole season and stuff like that?
Well, we do know they blew the one against Kirby that he called a timeout that he tried to say he was clapping because he damn sure wasn't clapping. So we know that much. It's some other bonehead stuff.
Well, what do you guys think about Carson and all these interceptions? Do you think it's more him not reading the field, or the defense is actually adjusting and putting everything in the middle, all the DBs in the middle, playing everything in the middle of the field, shutting down everything in the middle of the field, and forcing him to throw outside the numbers?
You want to take that, E?
I think it was some of that.
Both, or one or the other?
They were on Malachi so tight, man. and he gets comfortable with Malachi. And
we haven't used our tight ends at all. What's with that?
Well, I can say this. I think a lot of that has to do with they haven't been doing what they're supposed to do at the position. I think that's what got what's the name in the doghouse a little bit.
Who's that?
Elijah
Lofton, you know, he kind of been in the doghouse a little bit. The other kid, he's
Luka Gilbert.
Yeah, he's caught the ball when it's come to him. So it's a combination of things with the offense where they got to make improvements, man. Pre-snap penalties, running the right routes. I'm not that problem catching the ball. It's just like I said, the pre-snap penalties. That's a lot of it right there. That's a lot of it right there. So,
and do you guys feel that a lot of those all that reception yards with Chris Bell was blown coverage, or have you guys not noticed a lot of blown coverages with?
Well, a lot of that with Chris Bell was, again, when you are playing soft on the receiver and the quarterback is getting the ball out in 2 to 3 seconds, he's going to make that completion because the defensive line cannot get pressure on him because he's throwing the ball so quickly on top of the cut block and the chop blocking. So they're knocking the D linemen down. They're chopping them down where they can't, again, like I said, they can't bat the ball down with the quick pass. Mm-hmm. When you're 8 to 10 yards off the receiver and they get a clean jump on the route, that quick pass is going to be there. It's easy for the quarterback to make that pass. So the way you eliminate that is to get up on the receiver. You got 5 yards to jam him. You got to jam the receivers. So that fell on Heatherman and them not making the proper adjustments for that. If you're going to chop block my D-line and quick pass me all game, I'm going to get up on your receivers and jam them. It's going to throw off your timing for your route. Now that 2 to 3 second pass ain't there because I'm jamming your receiver. Now you might throw a pick or throw it. There were many times he threw incomplete behind the when they were jamming him. He was off behind the receiver or totally incomplete. They couldn't get it. It's only when they were playing off the receivers that Chris Bell was. If Chris Bell can run clean off the snap, nobody touching him, nobody in front of him, and he make a 2 to 3 second pass while I'm in stride. That's what got the last touchdown to make it 21. Because he ran clean right across the middle on a slant. He hit him in stride. Nobody there to knock the ball down because I cut block all my D linemen. That's easy money.
Yeah, for me, defensive scheming to me is damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you bump them at the receiver, you're more likely to be burnt over the top. But if you play them off most of the game, they burn you underneath. So
I would rather get burnt over the top because that means the quarterback can't throw it right away. That gives my D lineman time to get to him or pressure him. Okay? That's where my safety come into play. I got to make sure my safeties are back. It's all tied together.
Yeah.
But
you would rather get burned over the top than underneath.
Absolutely.
Most of the time.
If I'm giving up everything underneath because I'm playing soft zone, I gotta adjust to that. Because you're killing me across the middle. You're killing me with quick passes. I'm gonna get 5-6 yards of pass if I'm playing off the receiver and he dropping back 1-2, throwing the ball real fast.
And there was all that motion too. We forgot there was all that motion too because there was times we were playing man-to-man and they forced us out of man-to-man defense because they were moving Chris Bell across the line multiple times during the game where he wasn't static the whole game. So how can you play man-to-man consistently when they're doing a ton of motion and stuff like that? Like, how do you, as a defensive coordinator, how do you counteract that motion if you're playing man-to-man?
I play man on one side and zone on the other. That's how I do that. I split the field and I have to pick the right side, gamble what side I'm gonna play man and what side I'm gonna play zone. You can do that. You don't have to play zone all the way across or man all the way across. You can have one corner play zone and one corner play man. I can have my nickel play a man or my nickel play a zone. Or if I'm in a dime package where I got 4 corners out there, I can do the same thing. It's just
the same thing they was doing. You could double team them, just like they were doing Malachi.
It's adjusting to what they're doing. And Heatherman did make adjustments because they did shut Louisville down a lot in the second quarter. They didn't score anymore. And in the second half, they only got the 1 touchdown to Bell. Again, they played soft off him with the quick pass. That's how they got that one off. So he did make some adjustments in the game. Keep in mind, they only scored 24 points and had 4 turnovers.
We only lost by 3. That's what people forget.
So people need to understand that this team is a very good football team. Miami is a very good team. They shot themselves in the foot with discipline.
And missed tackles. We had a lot of missed tackles that game.
There were some missed tackles in the game. But like I said, overall, for the most part, the defense did their job. We didn't put up the points. We were too busy running between the tackles. I get that. Beck was too hung up on trying to get to
Malachi
all the time. And we got to have another receiver out there. It's going to have to be more. If it ain't JoJo, it's going to have to be more. It's going to have to be the kid that came from Cincinnati or BYU. Somebody else is going to have to be out there. He's throwing it to him.
It's weird. We use Kalen. We lose. It's weird. The Florida State game, he was throwing a lot to Keelan Marion. What happened? Like that's so confusing to me. Like he was targeted a lot in the FSU game, but all of a sudden they don't use him. Like that's confusing.
Yeah, I don't know what the scheme was or why he didn't or whatever. Like I said, I'll just give Louisville a lot of credit because, like I said, they was walking guys up, dropping guys out. They was doing what they do to confuse Carson.
You have to give Louisville some credit.
Yeah, try to confuse them. They was taking away his first.
He's and like I said, it started with the body language. They came out there. They came out there with a plan, with a mission on what they want to do, and they were able to accomplish it for the most part. So,
and a lot of fans, it's funny. A lot of fans say if what's his name leaves for a head coaching job, Dawson, they want Scott Braun because that scheme fits the talent that we have here in South Florida more than the scheme that you see with Dawson.
See, I don't buy into all that because they don't know. Because he comes down here and they still lose. Then they're going to be saying the same thing. It's like, I don't buy into all that because he was putting up 40-something points with Carson, with Cam last year, a game where he was wide open throwing the ball all
over. Or is it just more do you think he's changing way too much of his offense to cater to Carson, who's not really a mobile quarterback?
Right, which he should do. You got to tailor your offense to the quarterback that you have. I mean, that's the mark of a good OC. That's what everybody missing. You can't come in and do the same thing you was doing with Cam, with Carson.
And plus, a lot of it has to do with, again, some of our fans, they still
idiots.
No, they punch drunk on what Cam did last year.
Yeah.
Carson is not Cam Ward. I mean, so just you need to quit with that shit.
Yeah, no, and for me, I'm gonna use a perfect example of this. I'm a Hurricanes fan, and I can't be admitting this. I'm a Dolphins fan and stuff like that. So.
Me too.
Well, not me. I'm a Hurricane fan, but not a Dolphins fan.
Sorry, I swallowed something. What I was gonna say is, McDaniel. We complain that Shannon Dawson caters way too much to the quarterback and doesn't adjust, which is not true. McDaniel is the one doing that in Miami, where he refuses to adjust to whatever quarterback he has. That's not to. Let's say Tua gets injured, and we bring in a quarterback. You see what I'm talking about. He doesn't adjust to the backup quarterback. He forces a square peg into a round hole with the play calling, expecting every quarterback to be the same. So I like Dawson. He adjusts to what D said. The mark of a good coach or offensive coordinator is adjusting to the quarterback that you have and stuff like that. He knows Carson is not a mobile quarterback. He's a pocket quarterback that can run outside of do a lot of bootlegs and stuff. But people also need to realize I don't think he's fully healthy from that surgery too. Like all those interceptions probably are because of the injury. He's still recovering from the injury. He's not fully recovered. Do you see that too, or am I crazy?
I know he got hit on that arm in the game against Louisville.
That should have been roughing the passer too. Like
his deep ball looked good against Florida State. They didn't hang up. I just think with the first 2 interceptions, he forced it to guys that were
double covered or triple covered.
Triple covered on the first one, doubled on the second one, and there were guys underneath that were wide open, nobody around them at all for first down. So that's on Beck. He got too greedy, and he wanted to do too much with Malachi. And now, granted, the first interception in triple coverage, Malachi was mugged. There should have been a PI on that one, but it wasn't.
Right.
So we can sit there and make all the excuses we want.
Right.
The bottom line is they lost the game. Okay.
We just got out schemed.
Out schemed. There was mistakes made. Okay. All right. They recognize those mistakes. I'm sure they cleaned them up, and we should see that today in the game against Stanford.
Right.
We should see that today, and some of our fan base needs to just relax, because there's no team in college football that's going to run the table except maybe Georgia Tech, because they got a really cake schedule. That ain't no guarantee, because they still got to play Georgia. Virginia still has to play Virginia Tech. That's a rivalry game. It could go either way.
Ohio State still has their conference.
Ohio State still has to play Penn State at home, and they still got to play Michigan at home.
But Penn State just fired their coach, so we don't know how they're going to play.
There's no guarantee that they're going to run the table. Nobody in the SEC is undefeated. Nobody in the Big 12 is undefeated. Texas Tech took a loss. I think BYU is undefeated. So I don't see
Utah's undefeated, aren't they?
Nobody. BYU is undefeated. So I think
Utah. I don't think Utah undefeated.
Utah got a loss. Utah lost to Texas Tech.
Yeah.
So nobody's, all your big teams that are I think Indiana's undefeated right now. Or did they take a loss?
Outside of Ohio, Oregon, to be honest, who has Indiana played, really? Outside of Oregon. Outside of Oregon, their schedule has been weak, really.
Oregon been weak. Florida State been weak.
Yeah, so in general, there's not really a true, legit... there's playoff teams, but I don't think there's a favorite to win the championship. The only reason why
Ohio State probably the only favorite. That people look at it, because they do look complete. If I'm being honest,
I don't think so. I
think that right now the eye candy, they look complete. I think they got suspect stuff on offense, especially if they play a team that's as solid as them.
Well, yeah.
I think Penn State going to give them a game. I really think.
Do they play Oregon?
No, they don't play Oregon, and they don't play Indiana. So I think the 2 games that might trip them up would be Penn State,
Michigan,
or Michigan. I think Alabama still got a gauntlet to run. Missouri, Vanderbilt, and Texas A&M all have a loss. They still have a gauntlet to go through.
Yeah.
We don't know much about the SEC. Tennessee got a
Georgia
loss.
still has a whole bunch. Don't they have?
Georgia got big games. So Tennessee already got a couple L's. So it's in the Big 12, like I said, BYU undefeated, but Texas Tech has a loss.
Right.
In the Big Ten, like I said, we said about the Big Ten, and then in the ACC,
they're the most top heavy. To be honest, there's only I like Indiana, but who have they played outside of Oregon?
They ain't. I mean, I'm gonna pull up all these schedules. They ain't really played nobody either. That's really
Illinois was overrated. To be honest,
Illinois was overrated. That's true. I had higher hopes for them, but
Yeah, they crashed and
I
burned.
warned you that game. I warned you. I remember when we were previewing that week. I told you and D, don't get too excited on Illinois.
see, Indiana still got to play at Maryland. That ain't gonna be easy. They at Penn State. That's not gonna be easy, and they got to play at Purdue. That's a rivalry game.
Do they have one more out of conference game? Don't they?
No, they playing. They killing. They beating UCLA right now. Then they at Maryland November 1st. They at Penn State the 8th. They got Wisconsin at home on the 15th, and they at Purdue on the 28th of Saturday after Thanksgiving. I could see them losing to one of those three teams: Maryland, Penn State, or Purdue. It's a possibility they could lose. They at Penn State, they could lose that game. They at Purdue.
Is Purdue at home or away?
That's at Purdue.
Okay.
That's in Lafayette. That's an in-state rivalry.
It'd be cold in Lafayette, boy.
It could go either right. It could go either way. And then if you look at
I thought Purdue's in Iowa.
Purdue is in Lafayette,
Indiana.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm so confused because some of
Right
these.
there, they're right there. Lafayette is right there. As soon as you cross the Illinois border into Indiana is Lafayette.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's Ohio State must be off this week.
Yeah, they're on a bye week. I think they played Penn State next week, right?
Yep. Michigan is playing Michigan State. That's a rivalry game. That's at Michigan. It's at State. So I mean, Michigan better be careful.
Yeah.
I lived in Detroit. I've been up there for that, man. That's huge up there for them. So
Right.
Michigan still got to play Purdue at Northwestern, at Maryland, and then they got Ohio State at home.
Is Ann Arbor a is that
It's
a suburb of Detroit?
No, Ann Arbor is about an hour, not quite an hour west of about an hour west of Detroit, because Ypsilanti is about 45 minutes west of Detroit, and you keep going a little bit, and then you in Ann Arbor.
Well, you guys are in the Midwest. Are you guys where are you guys exactly?
We in St. Louis. That's Michigan ain't the Midwest.
Right.
So all them
people say the upper Midwest when they say Michigan.
Yeah.
So
you're not in the Midwest if you're not in the Central Time Zone.
right.
So all that Indiana and Ohio and Pennsylvania talking about they're the Midwest. No, you're not.
No.
The Midwest is Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, Iowa, Nebraska,
Oklahoma.
Yeah, you can say Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska,
Colorado.
Yep, that's the Midwest.
Colorado's west. Yeah, more western.
Wisconsin, the Dakotas,
Minnesota.
Minnesota, that's the Midwest. You know, Arkansas.
So you guys get pissed when you hear Ohio State fans and Michigan fans and Notre Dame fans to a certain extent consider themselves the Midwest.
They're not the They're not the Midwest. They're not the Midwest. That's you in the Eastern Time Zone.
They do a lot of recruiting out of the Midwest, but they're not the Midwest.
You're not in the Midwest if you're in the Eastern Time Zone. Stop it.
No, so and you guys, you said you're in St. Louis. Are you? Because it doesn't St. Louis go into Illinois?
No, you cross the Mississippi River and then you're in Illinois.
Yeah.
Okay, no, because I've always assumed because they have East St. Louis, which is in Illinois and stuff like that. So,
yeah, that's in Illinois. That's
no, because I thought that was it's like I thought St. Louis is similar to like Kansas City, where it's between Kansas City and Missouri.
Is
St. Louis like
Kansas,
that too?
And then you got Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah, part of Kansas City, Kansas. You cross the Mississippi River. Right. But there's another part of Kansas City, Kansas. There's just an imaginary line between Missouri and Kansas.
Yeah, and when you get to Kansas City, Kansas, you pretty much on the other side of downtown.
So St. Louis is not like that.
No,
with East St. Louis.
No, it's on the river, and when you cross,
Louis is a township. It's like a small town. It's not
St. Louis, Louisville, Memphis, Nashville, Cincinnati, all are kind of like the same type of small city.
Right.
It's not like a Chicago, Philly, or Minneapolis,
or like a Miami or something like that, or Tampa.
No,
yeah, but East St. Louis is small. It's like a small little town.
So you would compare it to like an Orlando or maybe a Jacksonville.
Yeah, you
St.
could say
Louis? Yeah.
Jacksonville and St. Louis are very similar.
Or Tallahassee.
Tallahassee is college town. It's more like
like Columbia.
that's a state capital, so it's more like Columbia, Missouri, or like where's Illinois at? Champaign, Illinois.
Champaign, Illinois.
Dubai
Yeah.
is, you know.
Or Bloomington, Indiana.
Yeah, that's more your Tallahassee.
It ain't nothing at Bloomington. Ain't
nothing.
Or where Iowa is, where are those both college towns where Iowa and Iowa State are?
Iowa State, yeah. I'm trying to think,
Des Moines.
Yeah, Des Moines, Iowa, yeah. It ain't. I mean, Des Moines is mid-size, you know. So,
but they're not completely a college town, like
not
like you see with Columbus or something like that, or Ann Arbor.
Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, Columbus.
Oh yeah. You just drive through there.
The only team undefeated in the SEC is Texas A&M, and they still got to play. A&M still got to play LSU today at LSU. They at Missouri next week. Then they got South Carolina. Then they got a high school team.
Is Missouri ranked?
Yeah. And then A&M is at Texas. So if A&M can beat everybody on this schedule, they for real.
Yeah, they should be. Shoot.
They beat LSU at LSU. They beat Missouri at Missouri. They beat Texas at Texas. They for real.
What are your opinions on this kid, Marcel Reed from A&M? Do you like him? DNE?
I haven't watched him really, so I can't speak on him.
BYU, your only team undefeated in the Big 12. And if I look at their schedule, they got at Iowa State today.
Do they play Texas Tech?
They play Texas Tech at Texas Tech next week. Then they got TCU at home. They at Cincinnati, and then they got UCF the last game. So they don't have a cakewalk. They at Iowa State. They at Texas
and
Tech.
Don't they have their rivalry game with Utah?
They already played Utah. They beat them on the 18th last week. They beat them 24-21.
Right.
Okay.
So they still got to play at Texas Tech, at Iowa State. They got TCU at home. They at Cincinnati. Cincinnati ain't good.
Yes.
So they don't have a cake. They still got a gauntlet to go through.
Right.
That's Big 12. And then, like I said, I look at the ACC. Everybody worried about Miami making it to the championship game. Virginia still has to play at North Carolina today.
And they tied with them right now.
And they tied 10-10. They at Cal. That ain't going to be.
Yeah, got to travel.
Especially if it's a night game. They got to do what Miami did last year. They got, it's a night game. They got Wake Forest, and then they at Duke. And then they play Virginia Tech. So it ain't no guarantee Virginia going to run the table.
Are we playing Stanford at Palo Alto?
No.
No, the Stanford's in Miami.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if we're having to travel across to Palo Alto.
We did that last year.
If we could get some help from Pittsburgh plays.
Who does SMU play, by the way?
They playing right now.
They're playing right now against Wake Forest.
Yeah, I think they at a dog fight. Wake Forest winning, I think 10-6.
10-6. I look at Louisville's schedule. Louisville has to play at Tech. They still have to play Clemson at home. They at SMU.
They had their rivalry game with Kentucky, too.
Kentucky is last. So I don't think Louisville going to beat either SMU or Clemson.
Yeah.
And they
Even with Clemson down, you really think?
Hey, shit! You never know with Clemson. That's the thing with
them.
You never know with them. I
right.
don't.
You
they
never know.
They can win it. They can win at any time. So I mean, we gotta let the season play out. All Miami has to do is win their games, take care of your business, and go 1-0 every week. Let the rest play itself out. I don't see Virginia, Louisville, and Georgia Tech, all three of them running the table where there's a three-way tie at the top with just them three.
I don't see
as long as Miami wins out and they can win decisively in their games, they got to dominate these games. They finish 11-1, they're going to get in the playoff.
And that's my whole thing. You got to dominate.
You can have your ACC.
All right, Anthony, we're going to let you go, Anthony.
Okay, have a good day.
All right, now. Yeah, so yeah, that's our thing. As long as they come out here and win decisively, do what they got to do.
I don't care about no ACC title game. I'd rather win a natty than the ACC. I mean, shit. Ohio State didn't win the Big Ten last year, but they won a national championship.
Right.
They won a national championship. So with this new playoff system, the way things are, it can be done. So all Miami has to do, like I said, is 11-0, 1-0 each week. Just win it. Win this week. Be ready to go down to Texas next week. Go to Dallas. I think if it's not raining and they own their game, I don't think nobody can beat them. I don't think anybody can beat them. They only beat themselves last week, and to only lose by 3, and to have 4 turnovers, man.
Yeah,
and they don't score any points off turnovers. People need as bad as that game sucked, and as bad as everybody looked in that game. You got to look at the pros and cons of the whole game.
Yep, that's my point.
That's the point that need to be made to people, to our fan base. Stop focusing on that. They lost by 3 points, as terribly as they played at times. Your quarterback threw 4 picks, and they got no points on them picks. So that says a lot about the team itself.
Yeah, because my thing, I told them, if they had gave up 4 turnovers last year, I don't even like to go back to last year. Man, they would have got blown out. Well, Cam would have been out there slanging, but you know what I'm saying? He'd have been pressing so much. It's like, come on now.
They would have got blown out.
That defense was giving up. That defense was playing rock solid. And you have to find, in a loss, you have to find positives to move forward. You have to.
You have to.
All right, well, we're going to wrap this up so we can finish watching these games so we can get back with you guys. Hopefully tonight, we see Miami come out and play like a team of urgency.
Let me know if you want to get back on, because I'm expecting a victory. I'm always expecting a victory. I just, like I said, look at that. Wake Forest bobbled they blew the whistle. Anyway, so I expect to see some, they've had good practices this week.
Yeah.
I expect the offensive line to be sound, no pre-snap penalties, no shooting in the foot. And I expect a W. Will they cover the spread? I don't care if they cover the spread or not. Just look good. I don't care if you win the game 28-14. Just look good doing it. Look solid doing it.
Right.
Get the win. Do I want them to score more points and look better with it? Sure.
Right.
But just get the win, man. I don't care if it's 3-0. Get the win.
Right. All right, guys. Well, we up out of here. We might be back on tonight. Stay tuned. I'll send a community post out to everybody if we do. Until then, it's all about the you.
It's all about the you, y'all.